This is a rough draft of my economic recovery survival software. This is going out to 4 different groups of people around the world. All of you know me in a different capacity. My friends in the States know me as a software writer and filmmaker photographer. My friends in Canada primarily know me as a bouncer at a nightclub. But what this has done is going to be... What's going to be done is we're going to be doing a simulation of what would you do if you were just starting out completely fresh. You are economically destroyed, you're out on a highway and all you got is a backpack. What would you do to recover? Now my friends in the south of the States, they all know that I'm one of the people that knows how to generate income from online web media. The rest of you, again, just know me as a construction worker. I built a lot of high-rises, and as a bouncer. Get this car shot coming in. So I've just landed. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I got no money. What's going to be the first thing that I do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around. I'm going to collect enough pop cans so I can get myself a camera roughly this big. Okay. My primary goal, my people in the States, they know. I get a hold of a camera like this, I'm going to find a way to make money with it rapidly and quickly. My friends in Canada, I plan on teaching you that because we are at a very, very tough time in our political system and our economic system. But we're starting from scratch. We got no money. We got to recover. Our primary goal is get ourselves a camera like this. Just a tiny little $100 camera. And we can do that really simply. I'm on a highway and there's nothing but pop cans and garbage all along here, so I'm going to show you how we're going to get ourselves this $100 camera. Okay, there's our first 10 cents. We're almost there. So, collect that. My first 10 cents. Okay, now we're up 15 cents. 35 cents. $0.45. Okay, so this would be kind of a tough video for any one of my friends or employers to watch because I have trade skills in construction and in video, and it would probably hurt them to see me out collecting pop cans. And I just want to show you what going out on the highway and in less than a couple of hours I got more than a couple $100 worth of cans just cleaning up the side of the highway. So if it looks a little embarrassing to see me collecting pop cans, I'm cleaning up the environment as well. At 40 years old, that would probably be something that you wouldn't want to be doing. But fortunately for me, it was something that I was doing as a 10-year-old kid. So I could take those cans, go to the coin shop and trade them in for silver. Silver makes a great hedge fund, and a lot of people said, oh, you should have invested in IBM, you should have invested in this stock or Nortel. Their shares went way up, but they also collapsed. So when I was buying $5 an ounce silver bars, they're $40 now, close to $40 for silver bars, and that led me to buy gold coins. And it all started with knowing that there's enough waste out there that you can collect to have that extra little bit of hedge fund money to do what you like. Now, again, my primary goal is to get my hands on a camera like this that's going to cost me $100. I could take this money and I could go spend it on food, but because I did that extra little bit of effort, my food money gets spent on food, and this is my what we call extra resource money. And my friends down in the States know how powerful and that I can, earn $100 a day with one of these. So how I would do that, if I had to, I wouldn't be afraid to go out and collect aluminum cans. As you see, I did that so I can go out and get myself a camera. I'd get up and dedicate my mornings every day in order to do that, so that I can distribute these things out to people so that they can start to learn the power of media. And where this is leading to, something called viral media interface, and that's where you start earning money online and expanding your social network with your viral media interface, because frankly, since about 2004, that's been my extra income, is having a viral media interface with my friend Neil. So we'll progress along, but I'm not ashamed to say that when I was a kid I collected pop cans and I traded it in and I saved the silver. I still have that silver today. I collected those pop cans so that I could save as much money as possible. I collected wheel weights off of cars, lead wheel weights, and I also learned how to pan gold. Behind me is actually a gold miner's cabin. I learned how to pan gold, and that's always been a nice extra bit of slush fund money for me, is the fact that I can pull gold out of the ground. And again, I could have been out partying with my friends when it was $200 an ounce. It was a tough day, but now gold is going to hit $1,500 an ounce in no time. It's already at 14, which is unthinkable. So we'll go on about that in the future. Now, not everybody's been following my software program, but I'm going to give you a condensed version. With these, I went out and I bought seeds, and these are peas and they're corn. I bought a variety of others, and I'll just show you what happened with those. And I've been growing them indoors because it's been a little colder winter and spring than usual, but I'll just show you what's happened since then. These are my peas, and these are my corn, and it cost me roughly less than $1 to get this happening so far, and $1 getting this happening so far. And I just noticed the price of tomatoes the other day was like a couple bucks a pound. So these are obviously going to turn into something I don't have to buy at the grocery store. And we all know what food prices is doing to the world economy right now. So again, with my pop cans and my seeds, I'm going to need a place to plant them. So I wanted to start an earlier growing season so I wouldn't have to use fertilizer. So I've been growing them indoors using my personal heating fuel to also help keep my vegetables alive in the winter, so I don't have to use any fertilizer. And this is a plot of land that I dug up. Now, most people would say, buy a rototiller. I didn't have money for a rototiller, so I'll just show you what I did here, because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for somebody to hand me a tool. I mean, I could have financed a tractor to come in here and do that all, and it probably would have been more practical usage of my time, but I'm just not going to stand around and wait. So, very simply, with enough pop cans, I had an axe with a kind of a unique axe, and I went in and tilled all my dirt this way. And it's starting to take up root a little bit, but I got all the rocks out of my ground, which is going to make life a lot easier for my tiller. I want to look after my tools too, so I'll show you the next part. Because in my younger years, I saved a lot of these silver coins that were $5 that are now worth $34, $35 a piece. At any given time, I've got enough hedge fund money to get myself one of these. Okay. Again, in this particular case, I didn't want to give up my hedge fund money, so I bought a pick with pop cans. Again, it sounds crude and menacing, but I want to break soil. And anywhere in the world that I go where there's going to be a disaster, my first priority is going to be able to salvage enough material to get me the tools that I need. Tools are more important, and knowing how to use them than any education you can get. Knowing how to plant seeds is something we can teach 12-year-old kids. Recycling to save money, because the world right now, we suffer from credit dementia. Every government in the world in the West right now is talking about credit. But if you went out and did this, you have credibility, right? So I don't need to go to my bank, and if I do go to my bank, I take this in and my interest rates are far lower because it's a guaranteed loan. We haven't had real currency since probably the 40s when we went to the Federal Reserve. And what we need to teach people, and you can ask a Harvard graduate this, is where does money come from? Money comes from the ground. It comes from the top. 6 inches of topsoil that we have on this earth is what creates our wealth. So the money we had in the 50s and the 60s came from agriculture, and then we started creating real estate as a form of wealth, paper stocks, technology. That all came from the ground. All of that was either mined out of the ground or it was grown out of the ground. So we got to get back to basics. And right now, any leader in the West that had half a brain, if it was Obama, he would go get one of these and he would dig up the front yard of the White House and he'd plant vegetables and he'd send everybody a seed subsidy. Even if you're wealthy, it doesn't hurt to grow some vegetables to teach your children. Teach your children how to recycle. We all talk about going green, but nobody is. But simply from pop cans, I've now moved up to this rototiller. What's going to happen after I get my seeds planted is I'm going to print up a little flyer, which is also a form of paper currency, and I'm going to go solicit my neighbors and say, hey, do you want to pay me a few extra dollars so that I can go and teach you how to grow your own food? Because I know all my neighbors are afraid of food prices. They're afraid of soil contamination. In Japan, forcing the food prices up. So we have to beat that. And again, simply from getting up a little bit early in the morning, a little humble lesson, I can go out and recreate myself. And I have a viral media interface, which as we go along this project, you'll understand is a form of my income. But even when there was a threat of nuclear waste flying over the area where I live in, I had iodine sent to me by somebody in the States who was worried about me because I had met them online. So a lot of what I do comes from online income and having a viral media interface. Okay? And we're going to keep going from here. We're going to grow this a little bigger, and I'm going to show you how to go from being absolutely poor, getting yourself some tools, and getting yourself employable, and creating a solid investment for yourself, which is really food. You can't argue with seeds growing out of the ground. It's a wonderful return on investment. You spend $1, you get back 10 for every seed you plant in the ground.